All right, welcome back everybody to the deep dive. We've got a really cool one today. We're going to be diving into this fascinating panel discussion I came across.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, I thought. Lots of different viewpoints.
Definitely.
So what we're going to do is kind of pick it apart, pull out some of the most interesting points, and really get into the nitty-gritty.
Sounds good.
Now, there's one panelist in particular, Sheffi Paz, whose insights really stood out to me. I think her perspective is especially relevant, given the current conversations happening around media, information, all that.
Oh, absolutely. Sheffi's work is really important right now.
So to set the stage a bit, the panel discussion covered a lot of ground, but Sheffi's main focus was on the changing media landscape.
Yeah.
Especially like how it's impacting independent creators.
Right. And she made this really compelling argument that the rise of independent creators is like fundamentally shifting power dynamics in media. It used to be that you had to go through these traditional gatekeepers, like big media companies, to get your message out there.
Right, exactly.
But now individuals can build their own audiences, control their own narratives.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it, right? Even us doing this deep dive, reaching you guys directly.
Absolutely. We're all part of the shift.
Exactly. But Sheffi didn't just focus on the positives. She also pointed out some potential downsides to this trend.
Right. She was, she's not naive to the challenges.
Yeah, she brought up some really valid concerns about the spread of misinformation and the potential for these echo chambers to form. Where people just surround themselves with information that confirms their existing beliefs.
Yeah, that's a big one. And it makes you question, what happens to reliable news and informed debate in that kind of environment?
This is something I think about a lot, too. Try to be really careful about where I get my information from. But it is kind of scary to think about how algorithms might be reinforcing our biases without us even realizing.
Oh, totally. And that was one of Sheffi's main points, that while algorithms can be helpful, helping us find relevant content, they can also trap us in these filter bubbles.
Filter bubbles, yeah.
Where we're only exposed to a very narrow range of viewpoints.
Oh, it's like, how do we break out of those bubbles? Did Sheffi have any thoughts on that?
She did. She's a big advocate for media literacy education.
Yeah.
Like teaching people how to critically evaluate information sources and be more aware of their own biases.
I think that's so important.
It is. She also called for more transparency from social media platforms and tech companies, about how their algorithms actually work.
Yeah, so we can understand what's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly.
It seems like such a complex issue, but it feels like at least Sheffi's suggestions offer a place to start, a way to think about how we can navigate this new media landscape, both individually and as a society.
Yes.
And her perspective, especially on the importance of dialogue, really ties into what the other panelists were talking about, right? The whole discussion about the state of public discourse today.
Definitely. There was a lot of agreement on the panel that constructive dialogue is essential, but there were some differing opinions on how to actually achieve that, especially in our current climate.
Makes sense.
Some folks were arguing for more civility, more respectful disagreement, while others were saying, no, we need to directly challenge harmful ideas, even if it gets a little heated.
It's such a tricky balance to strike, especially online, where things can escalate so quickly.
Totally.
It really makes you wonder, how are these different approaches going to shape the way we interact and debate in the future?
And that's the question we want to leave you with today. Think about what you've heard. Think about these diverse viewpoints and what they might mean for the future of public discourse. How can we have meaningful conversations and navigate this ever-changing media world? It's a big challenge, but it's also a huge opportunity to create a more informed and engaged society.
I think that's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.